Get £300 off your next used car. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to the Football Show on this Friday the 14th of December. I'm Peter Martin, delighted to have your company. Alan Rough and Barry Ferguson are with me. We're all in the festive mood. I have to say, I never thought I would see Barry Ferguson dressed as an elf and Roughie with a jumper that lights up as well, Roughie.
Yeah, I mean, it's that time of the year we want to put a wee bit of sparkle into your life.
There you are, okay. Well, let's hope the voice matches the sparkle of his jersey as we go on. Here's what we're going to be talking about. Europa League is our first port of call. Two games which had similar outcomes for both halves of the Old Firm, but at Celtic Park there was a twist in the story.
Celtic progressed to the last 32 of the Europa League despite losing 2-1 to Salzburg at Parkhead last night. Celtic were poor from start to finish despite fielding the same 11 that's been so successful over the past 6 weeks. The Hoops were lucky to go in level at half-time as Craig Gordon and the woodwork kept Salzburg out. Celtic changed to a diamond in the second half with the introduction of Scott Brown and seemed to improve, but when Ryan Christie went off on a stretcher, the life went out of Celtic. Monos Dabur, the top scorer in this season's Europa League, found space in the Celtic box and headed home. And then, giving fans flashback of Loris Karius in last season's Champions League final, Craig Gordon, who had probably been Celtic's man of the match up until that point, threw the ball against striker Gulbrandsen, who knocked it into an empty net. Christopher Ajer then spurned an almost unmissable chance, and it seemed as if time was up for Celtic, who were staring down the barrel of elimination. But suddenly the crowd went wild and it became apparent an unlikely Rosenborg equaliser had levelled things in Germany to ensure Brendan Rodgers' side's passage to the knockout phase. Benkovic was then fouled in the last minute of the game and Cham converted the rebound from his own penalty after he struck the post. The Hoops celebrations began at the final whistle despite the poor result, but overall Celtic must be judged across the 6 games, not just this evening, as Brendan Rodgers said.
But what we've shown over the course of the 6 games is that we can play well, and we've played well in enough of the games to get the points in what is a very, very tough group.
Celtic can now plan for the knockout phase and will find out their opponents on Monday.
Yeah, an incredible game, and I have to say, Salzburg. Boy, they were impressive, Roughie. They deserved their win because they played some really good football, albeit, Celtic at times looked as if they were ready to spark into life. I think there were too many players off the boil. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I think we saw Celtic domestically. They are way ahead of everybody else, on their day. But it was proven last night that this team had quality and won very easily. They came with a game plan and they got the goals at the right time. Again, Celtic's failings, a ball into the box, and two of the biggest players in the Celtic defence get out-jumped, and obviously Craig Gordon won't want to see that mistake again, and he's very, very fortunate that it wasn't the mistake that cost him the game. Yeah,
that, and of course Christopher Ajer managed to replicate a Peter van Vossen, as I call it, a miss that from a yard underneath the bar looked impossible to fail to hit the target.
Yeah, it looked as if it would be easier to score. I was shocked when I seen it, but it's one of the things that happen in football. But I was surprised with Celtic. I actually thought Celtic would have won that game, but as you mentioned earlier, far too many players off form against a top team. When you're playing against a team of that quality, you need at least 8 or 9 of the players getting 8, 9 out of 10.
Well, as a midfielder, Barry, the one thing that struck me about this, we're looking at players that were off the pace. There was 2 elements to it that I thought, were screaming out at me. First of all, Rogic gave away possession in the middle of the park, and when Salzburg were moving forward, it was a light jog for him back. Now, I don't know about you, that's nothing to do with being off the pace as far as, you know, overall contribution. That is psychologically something saying, you know, if your brain's not saying get back, chase back and drop in and help your teammates.
Well, certainly, if I was playing in that team, I'd be screaming at him. I mean, I think you can get away with that domestically, but when you go up a level and you're playing against a top team, you can't do it. Now, I'm saying in games like that, but I think any game, if you lose the ball, your first reaction is to go and get that ball back. And he showed that it looked to me, if it was just as you say, it was just a jog back and one of his other teammates will get him out of trouble.
Yeah, the other aspect of it, I think, you know, when you're looking at the art of playing as a striker, Roughie, I think if Celtic were looking at Odsonne Edouard and saying, how do you develop that guy as a striker? I would take him away, hand him over to Chris Sutton for a week and say, go and learn how to hold a ball in.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be, you know, the striker you want in European football. Somebody who can do that. Dembele could do it. He was a bit of a handful. He could run the channels as well. But this is a young lad who I don't think's matured yet. I don't think he's learned how to play in that style of football. You know, it might be because of the players round about him aren't giving him the supply that he wants. But he just doesn't seem to have enough oomph for me. He doesn't seem to be, you know, excited about playing at that level. He just seems to go through the motions.
That's another thing, Peter. When you go up, as I say, Salzburg, a top team, you need players that are, when that ball goes up, it needs to stick. You need to retain that for 5-10 seconds. Give your teammates a breather to go up and support you. That's one of the things. I mean, I think he's got so much going for him, but as you says, he needs to learn quick if you want to play at the highest level. Yeah,
the positive aspect of this is Celtic took 9 points, 2 wins against Rosenborg, and the big one was the Leipzig victory. Here's the 32, the last 32, the teams that they could potentially play against. It's not going to be easy, Roughie, but as you can see there are a few tasty names in there.
Yeah, there are teams in there you definitely don't want, you know, and there are teams you will take. Obviously, the Arsenal's, the Chelsea. I was impressed with Napoli. You know, we know about Zenit, you know, Inter Milan, but there are teams in there that Celtic will think if they get a favourable draw, they can handle, you know. But in last night's performance, it's proven now that going up a level, some of the players aren't capable of winning these games.
Yeah, the downside to it all, as ever, you know, throughout Europe and, of course, domestically as well, we're starting to witness regular occurrences of thuggery, stupidity, people who are either bleating out racism or indeed throwing coins. And yet again, someone last night thought it would be okay to throw something at one of the Salzburg players.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I feel sorry for the vast majority of the fans that want to go there and support their team, and then you've got these idiots, 1% or 2%, that feel it's right to go and throw something. It's ridiculous, and I hope whoever threw it gets found out and caught and hopefully banned.
It's not only policing the game now, Roughie. The police obviously have their work extended to try and sift through CCTV at that point to see if they can pick out the individual. Then over and above that, you've had racist abuse towards Raheem Sterling. You've had Chelsea fans. You know, the allegation now is that there was anti-Semitic chants. Now, you know, these are the ills of society right now. We've gone backwards, but football seems to have a congregation of idiots who are tarnishing the game's image and also wrecking it for clubs as well.
Yep, and that's why we have to act very, very quickly in dealing with these people. I mean, Hearts have done it last week. They identified the 2 people. They've been, you know, handed over to the police immediately, and that's what you have to do. I know we don't want to do the self-policing thing, but I do think there will be good supporters, as Barry said there, will be getting fed up with this, because again, Celtic are going to get hit with something because of 1 or 2 idiots, you know. So I think it's a matter of if you see somebody doing that, you tell the police and let them deal with it.
Yeah, there were positives last night. In the 9th minute, the Celtic fans, to a man and woman, were up showing their support for Leigh Griffiths. There's been some criticism. I mean, Roger Mitchell, the former SPL chief executive, has been critical and says he thinks Leigh Griffiths has got a get out of jail card here, and he's been highly critical of some of what he would call his misdemeanours before. I think it's very dangerous to comment on a lad and his predicament if you don't know how serious the predicament is and all the facts around it.
Yeah, I seen that comment, a ridiculous comment. Obviously the guy's got issues, Celtic made it clear on Wednesday. And you don't know exactly what's going on in Lee Griffiths' personal life or private life. But for somebody to come out who's well known in Scottish football to say something like that, I couldn't believe it. Let's hope that, I personally hope that he goes away and he gets the help that's needed and he comes back a stronger and a better player, a better person for it.
Okay, coming up, we're going to be talking about Rangers in Europa League action against Rapid Vienna. Destiny was in their own hands. We'll also look ahead to the weekend's football, which starts tonight, Livingston against Hearts. Destiny was in Rangers' hands as they travelled with about 10,000 fans to Vienna to see if they could see off Rapid Vienna. In the end, it was a tough night for Steven Gerrard's side.
Rangers were knocked out of the Europa League last night as they succumbed to a 1-0 defeat against Rapid Vienna. Steven Gerrard's side needed a win to qualify, but instead it was their hosts who reached the knockout stage. The terrible surface on the pitch clearly affected both sides throughout the match, as there were few chances for either team. Rangers' Connor Goldson struck the bar with a header in the first half, and James Tavernier saw a shot saved, but Rangers could not find the breakthrough. Then, with 6 minutes left to play, Rangers' best performer in Europe this season, goalkeeper Alan McGregor, poorly cleared the ball, allowing Rapid to attack, and substitute Ljubicic slid in the winner. Rangers can hold their heads high after a successful Europa League campaign, making it through 4 rounds of qualifying and only losing 2 of 14 games. The campaign can be built on going forward, but Gerrard himself admitted that his team must strengthen if they want to compete at this level.
Well, I think to sum up that group stage for Rangers, it was an opportunity lost, and I think Spartak Moscow will haunt them.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the game last night, and I says in the programme on Wednesday, I didn't think Rapid Vienna were a good team at all. I thought it was a game that Rangers could go and win, but I seen the game. Look, Steven Gerrard will be disappointed. Rangers weren't great last night, and it's evident that he does need to go and strengthen the team in quite a few areas. He's come out and said that, and you just need to wait to January now to see if he goes and strengthens that squad, because I think it needs it. I think there is space for 3 or 4 quality players to come in, but it's whether the club can supply the money to go and do that. But you're looking at the group. I kind of go for where the club were last season to now. There's been definite progress. There's no doubt in my mind. But when you step up that wee bit, that level, there is more business needed to be done in that squad. Yeah,
I thought there were so many misplaced passes last night, Roughie. Listen, I'm not having the pitch as an excuse, because quite simply, that pitch didn't look great, but professional footballers should be able to play in any surface.
Yeah, you're right, and I agree with Barry. I think it's just a lack of quality. I think the players that he's brought in, particularly in the midfield area, are much, much better than what was there before. But there's another level you need to go to. If you're going to play European football, you need quality in that middle of the park. You need somebody pulling the strings. You need somebody that can create something a wee bit special. I think the Rangers players, as it is just now, are workmanlike at a good level, but I'm sure Steven Gerrard will want to go to a better level to take them further in Europe.
Yeah, you could see his frustration in the sidelines last night. The camera panned a couple of times to him, and just simple passes, 5-10 yard passes that were going astray. It was hard to watch at times, but again, they've done well. They're back in Europe this season. Disappointing not to get out of that group. They just need to now focus on the domestic football now, and hopefully come January and the summer go out and strengthen with a bit more quality.
Well, strangely enough, even with the financial results and the debts that were there, that obviously are in loans, Barry, somebody somewhere is coming up with the money. Now, one of the names mentioned is Steve Davis. How crucial do you think it is to get a player of that calibre?
Well, I can only say I played with the guy, and I seen it first hand in training, in games, big games, in Europe, Old Firm games. The guy just is quality, and you've seen since he left Rangers, he's been in the Premier League a number of years. He's been playing at the top level. He showed his quality. I know he's been out of the team this season, but he is a player that would make a huge, huge difference to Rangers.
Yeah. The flip side of that is one might come in, another one might go out. Obviously, Steven Gerrard's using his Liverpool connections. One guy that he's going to speak to over the course of the weekend to map out whether he has a future at all at Rangers or whether he goes back to Liverpool is Ove Ejaria, who clearly on social media I don't know if he wasn't happy that he wasn't going to Vienna, but he wiped out all association with Rangers on his social media, which usually is a sign of petulance or that the writing's on the wall, Roughie.
Yeah, I would say the writing's on the wall. I think he's made his mind up that he's gone back to where he came from. He's not done anything in the Rangers team at all, you know, and he'll see that as one out, one in. You know, I don't know what kind of money they pay for to bring a lone player in, but certainly he'll identify somebody that can take that place.
Okay, you can give us your view on the issues in Europa League from last night on YouTube, Facebook and of course Twitter as well. Now let's look at the Premiership over the weekend. It all starts tonight. Livingston against Hearts. Then there's Kilmarnock, Dundee, St Johnstone, Motherwell, St Mirren, Aberdeen. And with Rangers and Celtic's involvement in the Europa League, they play on the Sunday. Easter Road for the early kick-off, Hibs Celtic. And Rangers against Hamilton at 3 o'clock. So with that in mind, Christophe Berra, congratulations to him. This will be his 200th game if he makes an appearance for Hearts at Livingston. Livy with just 2 wins in the last 8, and the Jambos with just 1 win in the last 8. That, of course, was the win against Motherwell. So it's a tough one to call. I can only see it as a draw, Roughie, in my mind.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Berra coming back, I thought he looked a wee bit off the pace against St Johnstone. I think a couple of boys ran away for him. I think they pushed him a wee bit early to get in there, but you would want to take the chance. Again, it's all about the Livingston surface, but I think Hearts play a style of football that they'll just battle away and dig in there, and I think Hearts will win 2-1.
I can't see it. I've got to agree with you. I think it's a draw all day long. Livingston, strong at home, difficult team to play against. But I will say, like Hearts as well, they like going back to front. But 1 each for me. Okay,
St Johnstone against Motherwell. Listen, if you're going to wax lyrical about any side that deserves all the praise that's coming their way, it's St Johnstone. This is them going for their 9th game undefeated, which I think is to their tremendous credit. And they're up against a Motherwell side, no wins in 3.
Yeah, I'm going to contradict myself. It's been great. Tommy Wright, obviously manager in a month. Great record, but I've just got a sneaky feeling Motherwell will go up here and win the game.
Yeah.
I don't know what's telling me. I need to claw points back enough. Maybe that's one of the reasons I'm doing it.
Well, the word you're looking for is desperation.
No, I'm not as desperate. I'm not as desperate as Roughie, but you're getting away a wee bit. Yeah. So I need to catch up. But I've got a sneaky feeling Motherwell will go up here and snatch a win.
I don't think they'll get a win, but I'm sure the Motherwell manager would love to know what kind of performances players are going to put out there, because they're hot and cold just now. I do think they're good enough to go up there and get a draw, so I'm going to go 1 each.
Yeah, I think the Saints are going to nick it by a solitary goal. Killie against Dundee. Killie, 1 defeat in the last 5. Dundee, of course, with unbeaten in the last 4, and with that confidence-boosting draw against Rangers last weekend, then I don't know. It's you're looking at it and you're thinking, can anyone domestically out with the top half take points off Killie? I don't think so at Rugby Park.
No, I don't think last week's result against Celtic will affect the Kilmarnock players in any way. At home they're very strong. I know Dundee have picked up under Jim McIntyre, but I fancy Kilmarnock to win that one.
Yeah, I fancy Kilmarnock as well. They've been really impressive at home. You know, they've got wide players who are causing problems and goal scorers as well.
Okay, St Mirren against Aberdeen. Sam Cosgrove has won his appeal against that wrongful caution for simulation. So he's in for this game. 1 win in 17 for Saints. I think Aberdeen will get this one by a couple of goals.
So do I. I think Aberdeen, although they had the midweek game, the St Mirren defence just aren't strong enough at all, and I think Aberdeen will win 2-0.
I think it'll be close, but Aberdeen will just nick it.
Okay, on the Sunday, Rangers against Hamilton is a 3 o'clock kick-off. He wants to get back to winning ways. They've had a couple of shaky results in the league as well, but I don't see anything from Accies to trouble Rangers at Ibrox.
No, last 2 league performances against Aberdeen and Dundee have not been up to scratch, but I don't see any problems at home against Hamilton.
No, I think they'll get back on the rails. I think it could be maybe 3-4-0.
Okay. The High Bees with 1 win in the last 8 games against the Celtic side with only 1 defeat in the last 11. You see how I'm trying to build up all these statistics for you to sway you one way, then the other. It'll be tight, but the odd goal in 3 in Celtic's favour for me. Roughie, what about yourself?
Yep, and for me, I think Celtic will bounce back because they'll rotate the team again. There'll be players coming in wanting to impress. I think Celtic will win 2-1.
Yeah, I fancy Celtic to win it. Hibs are missing a few key players, so Celtic for me.
Okay, that's just about it from us. We're in our Santa Claus outfits, our elf, and of course our festive jumpers. We got our Secret Santa presents. I'm happy with my Kenny Dalglish Liverpool mug. Are you happy with your
T-shirt? Oh, delighted. PLZ T-shirt.
What did you get, Roughie?
I think I'll have to wait and see how mine's fit, really, to see if...
extra large for the shoot.
Extra large. It should be okay, yeah. At least I'll sleep well at night now.
Absolutely. What are they? What are they, Roughie?
I think there were some...
Tenner pants.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Great way to finish the programme. Thanks for watching.
Get £300 off your next used car. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to PLZ Soccer. Why not join the football family and download the PLZ app? You'll get all the latest Scottish football news and up-to-date news on English and world football. There's also a feature here where you can record yourself talking about your favourite team. If we use the video, you could feature on our football show. For all the latest news in Scottish football, download the PLZ Soccer app in the App Store and in Google Play. Come and join the football family on PLZ Soccer.